Hopefully, at that point, I'll be dead or my kids will take care of me. Hey, welcome to the Guaranteed Retirement Guy Show. Happy to have you. Excited to talk about this subject of should a 401k go into an annuity? In fact, when we think about annuities, we're thinking about guarantees, right? Well, guess what? Me and my wife just went to a concert last week that I paid big bucks for, and it was canceled. And so super frustrated. And, when you think about guarantees, when you think about annuities, you hope that they go together. And guess what? They do. Okay, so if you actually get an annuity, you're going to get what you pay for. It's guaranteed. In fact, it's guaranteed by that company, and it's guaranteed by the State Guarantee Association. They also protect it. And then, of course, you got other companies. But let's not go down that rabbit hole too far. Let's talk about 401ks. Should they? Can they? Will they go into an annuity for you? And really, of course, it just depends on what you are deciding to do with your 401k. If you do want to have some sort of guarantee, if you want some protection, maybe you want to be out of the market and you are just sick of having the roller coaster and you want some income, right? I mean, that's usually why we have our 401ks or our IRAs or a 403b or whatever you have that's employer sponsored, and you're wondering, can I put this into an annuity? You absolutely can. In fact, typically what people will do is they will roll their 401k or their 403b, or maybe you've got a TSP. Okay, you can roll that into an IRA. And once it's inside that IRA, you fund an annuity inside of it. Okay, so now you have a guaranteed contract of income, plus you have some growth, plus you have guarantees against any type of market fluctuations. So if the market drops or crashes 50%, you know that your contract values will never, ever go down. How does that sound? Here's the thing. When you are looking at an exchange, because that's really what it is, if you're putting a 401k into an IRA with an annuity inside of it, it's a 1035 exchange. And you're not paying taxes. It still stays tax deferred because you're not taking a withdrawal. Okay? If you take a withdrawal and you stick it in your bank account, then yeah, you're going to pay taxes. But that's not what you're doing when you're buying an annuity with your 401k. What you're doing is you're just doing a 1035 exchange from one like account to another like account, which is an IRA. If it's a Roth 401k, it'll be a Roth IRA. Okay. So the difference is you're just changing the basket, okay? And then you're changing what's inside the basket. So now you're taking it from your 401k that has the mutual funds or stocks or whatever you have that's subject to risk, and now you're putting it into this other basket, the IRA or the Roth IRA, that now has a guaranteed annuity that gives you protection against any type of market downturn. It also, if it's a fixed index annuity, it will also give you access to that index. And if that index goes up, you make whatever the index makes. And if you have income, then you most likely have a roll-up rate. And that roll-up rate could be as high as 7, 8, or even 9% for the purpose of receiving income. And so they'll multiply that against your annuity, and your annuity will continue to grow in value. And it gets to a point where the income that comes from it is pretty significant. Maybe you have $400,000 or $500,000 sitting in your 401k, and you're thinking, man, if I take out $50,000 a year, I'm going to deplete this over 8 years? So now you're thinking, all right, well, I'm going to live longer than that. So maybe I need to cut it down. Instead of 50,000, maybe I need to cut it down to a third of that. Hopefully, at that point, I'll be dead or my kids will take care of me. No. None of us want that. None of us want to run out, and none of us want to be sitting there shortchanging ourselves, having a lower income than we're used to or that what we want. I mean, really, when we're in retirement, we want as much as we possibly can get. And so if you're thinking about maximizing that amount that's in your 401k and you're considering an annuity, you're simply going to transfer from the 401k into an IRA, and you're going to have that annuity contract inside of it that's giving you that guaranteed income for the rest of your life. So unlike the 401k, if you take the money out, or even if you take that money out and put it into your own IRA, maybe at Vanguard or any other self-directed IRA, you still need to control how much you take out. And typically when people do that, they end up living on a lot less income, and they typically will run out anyways. instead of just taking that money just right from the beginning and just putting it into an IRA with an annuity inside of it that now guarantees your income. And if you take it over so many years, you're taking sometimes 3 or 4 times, or sometimes more than that, than you actually put into it. And so that is why these are so valuable. So if you're looking for help, if you want some some advice, maybe looking at different annuities, you're kind of shopping around, and it's hard when you go to so many different advisors and they have this favorite annuity and this favorite annuity, and you're like, which one is the best, right? Like, how do I know? Well, I like to show you everything, okay? It's so much easier, and it's more transparent, it's more honest, it's more ethical, okay? That is what I love doing. Hello there. Any questions, comments, concerns, criticisms? Please comment below. I'd love to hear it all, and I'd love to answer your questions. See you soon.